Welcome back to my channel. Now, I don't know about you, but I love me some pasta. But if you're also like me, you get tired of the same old every time. Well, today's pasta is not going to be the same old. So come on, go with me and let's see what's cooking today. So to start this video off, you want to take some grape tomatoes, or you can use regular tomatoes if you want to, but you want to roast them in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes because they're going to go in this pasta dish. Now I'm going to take my grape tomatoes and I'm just going to cut them in half, just like that. But let's go get the rest of these cut up. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on my tomatoes. I'm going to get that mixed around, get them all coated. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on them. I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees and I've got me a cookie sheet. Just take whatever pan you want to use. I'm going to put these tomatoes on this pan and I'm going to put them cut side up. We're going to roast these for about 15 to 20 minutes in a 400 degree oven. We're going to pop this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Here are my grape tomatoes all beautifully roasted up. Now I know I'm just cooking this for one person, just me, but I am going to make this whole recipe. And I'm making this whole recipe because I do want leftovers of this. I've never eaten it, but it sounds delicious. So I'm going to make the whole recipe and eat off of it for a few days. So to start the recipe, you want to get you some water, get it put on the stove, turn it on high. You want to bring it to a boil. This recipe calls for bow tie pasta. I don't have any bow tie pasta. I do have this hanging out in my pantry that's been hanging out in there for just a minute. So we're going to use the rest of this. It's probably around a cup. So hey, this is what I'm using. So if you don't have bow tie pasta or you don't have rigatoni, you might have penne. You might have some shells. You might have some elbow mac. You know, whatever you got, just use it, because I really don't think that the pasta popo is going to come find you. There is not going to be a pasta patrol driving around with a radar going off if you use another pasta. Use what you have. Okay? Okay, my water's starting to boil. I'm just going to pour these over in there. I'm going to cook those according to the package directions. Now in the meantime, I have my roasted tomatoes that I roasted yesterday actually. So I'm probably going to heat these up, just barely heat them up, maybe 20 seconds. Just to heat them up slightly so that they'll be ready to go in my pasta once it's drained. You are also going to want to cook up 2 to 3 slices of bacon because you're going to be crumbling it up in this dish. I'm not cooking bacon. I have bacon bits, so I'm improvising. I'm trying to use what I have. These are in my fridge and they need to be used up. I didn't get them all used yesterday, and I probably will not get them all used up today either, but that's moving in the right direction. So cook your bacon up. Okay, I think my pasta is ready. Let's drain it. Okay, I've got my pasta drained. I did reserve about 1/4 cup of the pasta water. You don't have to do that, but you can. because I may or may not even use that. But I did hold some of that out. I did reserve it just in case. Okay, now that I've got my pasta ready, this is where you're going to add your bacon in. So if you're like me and you're using bacon bits, just throw you some bacon bits in it. If you are cooking slices of bacon, then you're going to have that already cooked and you're going to have it crumbled up, and you're just going to throw it in this pot of pasta. And it said 2 to 3 slices. Like I said, I will be leaving the exact recipe for this in the description box. But I'm not following that recipe to a T, okay? That's just not how I cook most of the time. So I'm just going to add some of this in. Kind of stir it around and see if that's enough. I'm going to add a little bit more. Still have some in here. We'll get those used up in a salad or something the next day or so. Now this is where I'm going to throw a little twist in this recipe, because this recipe does not call for this at all. But if you watched the video before this one, then you know I made a jalapeno popper grilled cheese sandwich that was out of this world delicious, by the way. And I had some of that mixture left. So instead of making another jalapeno popper grilled cheese today, I decided I'm going to throw this in my pasta. I'm going to let that melt down because that pasta is still hot. I'm just going to get that stirred up in here. Hopefully that pasta being hot will help get that melted down some. I'm just going to stir it around. And this is probably where I'm going to be adding in some of that reserved pasta water. And actually I am, because it's still a little hot itself. And it's going to help with that a little bit. That's about 1/8 of a cup. We'll start with that. I'm going to continue stirring that around, getting it all incorporated. I did add the other 1/4 cup of the reserved pasta water in. That is looking delicious. It smells so good. Okay, here's where I'm going to add in the tomatoes that I roasted yesterday. Got them all down in there. I'm just going to get them stirred up in there as well. Once you've added your tomatoes and gotten them stirred in well, you want to add you a pinch of salt, some black pepper, get that stirred in. And now I'm going to add in some parsley flakes. Let's get this plated up. Now if you want to, this is optional, especially optional since I already know that I do have some cheese inside of this, but you can add you some Parmesan cheese to the top if you'd like to. You can even use the grated, the shaky cheese as we call it, but I'm going to add just a little bit of Parmesan to the top of mine. And I'm going to add a little bit more parsley. Now, doesn't that look delicious? It smells delicious. Let's see if it tastes delicious. Okay, y'all. This is my roasted grape tomato and bacon pasta. Looks delicious. Smells good too. Let's see if it's good. Now you could add some chicken in here if you wanted to, you know. To kick it up even another notch, but I'm not, and that's okay. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah. You need to give this one a try. I know I say that with almost everything, But I'm always honest with y'all about how it tastes. This is delicious. You need to try it. If you do, let me know how you liked it. I'm gonna go eat.